Welcome everybody to another session of Inside the U interviews. I have Cyrus Moss, recent Miami Hurricane. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm curious, a lot to get into. You know, a lot of people are still getting to know you from the Miami standpoint. The way your name just kind of popped up over the last month or two here. Uh, I did just take me back to All American Bowl. What was that experience like for you? Obviously, you would have liked to play in the game, that whole thing. But what was that kind of week, that experience like for you?
Yeah, well, like you said, it was a little bit different because unfortunately I wasn't able to play. So I was just in the hotel room for what was it, about 5 days, I believe, and just kind of just eating, watching from afar, and just cheering my guys on, keeping in touch with some of the recruits, and just looking forward to what I still had in my commitment. I still was able to do that. I did that from my hotel room. So yeah, it was an interesting experience. It was a little bit different, but nonetheless, it was still a tremendous honor to be able to be an All American.
It's got to be pretty exciting to make your announcement too, right? Like different, like you said, from the hotel room and whatnot. But was that good just to kind of get that out there? I'm sure a lot of people have been asking what exactly you were going to do. Was that a good moment for you?
Yeah, it was a great moment. I was really excited to get it out there, just to show what Miami's doing, show that elite players are trending towards that school. Um, and it was just an exciting moment for me because it was a pretty long process and a hectic process. So just having that moment where I was able to finally say, this is the one, um, was a really big deal. It was a great moment for me. Been doing the recruiting process for a little while, so it's all come to a close. So that was a big moment.
Yeah. What has this been like? And kind of just doing research, kind of going back with your recruitment over the years here, particularly these last couple of years. What can you say it's been like? There's been a lot of schools. I know you've been to visit, just a lot of places, trying to sort it all out. What has this last couple of years been like for you?
Yeah, well, it's been an interesting ride. There was great moments, and there were some stressful moments, some fun moments, some hectic moments. All in all, I'm super grateful for the journey. It was fun all the way through, pretty much. Um, I learned a lot, got to meet a lot of people, got to talk to a lot of different coaches, learn a lot of different things. I picked up something from just about every single coach I talked to, and yeah, it started off just kind of just picking up offers and things coming in, coming through, and just kind of meeting a bunch of coaches. But still, we weren't able to get on the phone or talk until September 1st of junior year. So I was just kind of talking to the coaches a little bit, just here and there. If I called them or if they had a special time, then we'd be able to talk or maybe shoot a couple messages. But uh, then once it hit junior year, I think I think I had 30 offers at the time. And so once that hit September 1st, even at 12 a.m., it was on from there. And then I was just talking to schools every single day, usually 3, 4 schools a day, um, and it could have been more, but that was all I would have time for in the day with school and all that stuff going on. Um, but so it got really crazy at that time, and I was just like, whoa, like, you got 30 different schools, and each school has probably 3 coaches on it that are going to text you, try to communicate. So it turned into like 90 people on my phone trying to get in touch with me every other day, and I was like, wow. It was certainly an honor. It was certainly a blessing, and it's what every single kid hopes for, dreams for. But you would never know, like, wow, like that was it. It became a lot. I don't know. It was like almost um, you got to be careful what you wish for. Almost, I was like, so that's why soon later I dropped the top 11 lists. That way I could cut that down and make it more manageable. Kind of focus in, really start to actually determine what schools I was really interested in, what I was really looking for, and so then at that point, it was pretty manageable. It was still kind of hectic, still a lot of time, of course. Still 11 schools, but um, definitely much more manageable. I started to enjoy it definitely around that time. And then I started planning official visits Then once I planned the official visits, I dropped another top list, and then I went ahead and visited those schools officially. And yeah, so that was really the fun time of it, was definitely going on the official visits, doing that stuff, getting to do all that. And then it got hectic one more time because that was kind of a few months away from the decision. So things were still kind of, cool, level-headed at that time. But then once it started to get really close to the decision, things really ramped up. Again, those just 3 to 5 schools felt like 30 because they were coming after it hard and really throwing everything that they could at it and putting their all towards it. But at this time, I was able to manage it a lot better because now I had been doing it for a while. Once it hit me, just full force out of nowhere, junior year, that was a lot. But after dealing with it, managing it, I was able to learn some things. And by this time, I dealt with it a lot better. And being that it was less schools as well helped. And so it was enjoyable, it was fun. And then, and so one major thing where a bunch of different schools, coaches started leaving in the coaching carousel, that really shook up a lot of things. And then the schools that I had gone to visit, the schools that I had been talking with, I started to really narrow it down. I felt like I was getting close to a decision. I started to like Oregon's program. I really started getting into that. I was really believing in what Coach was doing over there. I was really liking everything they were doing. And then everything switched. Coach went over there. Then we had a coach from Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley, come over to USC. And then I was just kind of in a waiting pattern on Oregon, waiting for who they would get in on their staff. They kind of took a little bit longer to get their coaches in there. It was after signing day when they were able to get everything assembled, I believe. So at that point, my top 5 list completely changed, and I had 2 schools that I was no longer considering and never thought I would really be considering at this point. USC and Miami being very top schools up there with Oregon. And now with Miami, it didn't necessarily start off that way. I was not interested in Miami. You could ask my mom. She asked me, she said, hey, Coach Cristobal has been just hitting me up. Like, what do you think? Are you interested in Miami? And I told her no. I said, nah, I mean, I haven't got offered by there. I hadn't really looked into it. It's like, no, I'm not very interested in that. I just, I didn't really know much about it. I just kind of knew where they were right now. And I was just like, no. And I really had liked Oregon. I really liked still a lot of the stuff over there, and still super interested in that program. And now USC had caught my attention a lot. They're starting to get a lot of recruits in there, a lot of big time players. And Coach Riley was really coming at it the right way. Because the only reason I really cut them out was because their culture was just not really something that vibe with me personally. And I just didn't really feel the championship culture over there. So, but Lincoln Riley was coming at it the right way. That was the big forefront of everything he was trying to do. He was trying to change the culture. Just from changing paintings on the walls to cutting players off the team, everything in between, he was doing to fix that. So once he was doing that, I was able to see just how amazing the USC program was and what they had within there and all their opportunities. But then similarly with Coach Cristobal over at Miami, after I initially was like, no, not really interested. I wasn't even really responding to his messages. Wasn't even really getting on the phone with them. Nothing, because I wasn't really interested. But he just kept sticking at it. Like, hey, let's talk. Let's get on the phone. Let me tell you a couple of things. Answer his call, but I still just, I really wasn't like feeling it. Still was like, this was the week that I was supposed to be going to the USC visit. official visit. So I was just like, nah, I already have that visit locked in. Like, and I'm gonna want to visit the school that I commit to. So I just don't think it's not gonna be possible. I'm already locked in there. But he just stuck at it. And then I had a really important really important talk with my coach, Coach Brown, linebacker coach up there at Bishop Gorman, and strength coach. And he was just like, the culture down there, the energy's down there, it's different. The vibe is different. Just go down there, feel it. Just give them a chance. And he reminded me about the relationships that I have with those coaches. And with Coach Cristobal, he said, just give them that chance, give them the opportunity to just, show you why they're different, show you this new opportunity that they have. Like, just take a chance. And again, even still to this day, you can ask him, and I was like, and we must have talked for probably 30 minutes, just give them a chance to take a shot. Just make sure you cross all your T's, dot your I's. Just check them out. And I was at the end of it, I was like, all right, let me just do it. The coach really wants me to do it. I'm gonna do it. And so then I ended up going over and doing something where I split the weekend into 2 visits. I went to USC on Friday, Saturday, and I stayed there till 4:00 and left over to Miami, got there late, then spent Sunday and left on Monday. And by the end of that visit, things were different. After I left the USC trip, I was like, all right, yeah, this is probably the spot. Like, I think, I'm really liking this. I know my teammates were really liking it. I was talking to Zach and Zion at the time. I'm talking to Fabian as well. They were really liking it. I was like, yeah, it's looking like this is all coming together over here. And then went over to Miami and just listened to Coach, listen to what he was trying to do over there, and listen to the differences, and just felt different. I felt those relationships, felt the trust, the genuineness of Coach Cristobal. It's just on a different level. He's willing to work for the things that's right to a different degree than anybody else, and I just really trusted in that. I trusted in who he was so tremendously, just because with his conversations, and just with the things I might have needed help with, or the things that I had questions about, or the things that my family needed, or help me needed with something. He was putting his all in and being there for that, just on a different level. His generosity is endless, and I was just kind of blown away by that. Lincoln Riley is an amazing guy as well, and he found a way to somehow even further that, and it was pretty special, and I was just really excited about things he was telling me. They're really making a lot of changes over there to the program, to the structures, to everything, and they're bringing in a lot of recruits. They're bringing a lot of very, very top talent coaches, and a few names at the time that I heard I was extremely excited about, that have now been able to officially join the staff. Ones that came over from Oregon, I was able to make those great relationships with Coach Joe, Coach Cody Woodhill, Coach Feld, all those guys. They're a different staff. They Cristobal, and that's again a credit to Cristobal who he is, because he's only going to hire coaches like that, only going to get guys in that have that X factor, have that ability to do it all, to develop guys while still being guys of high character, high values, high everything, family oriented. So all in all, when I went over there, I just knew I could trust him to keep bringing in more of these people. Every single coach that he's hired, I have just an amazing relationship with, and that's a credit to him and who's brought in. So by the time I left that trip, I was just like, man, like I really have the best relationships over here. These are really the most genuine guys in college football. This is the best staff, and it's only going to keep getting better. And once me and coach really sat down, because I told him talent was going to be a big thing for me. I wanted to be a part of a team that had the ability to really do special things. I wanted a team that's going to have that high ceiling. And I told him, what's that looking like? Because USC was really bringing it as far as talent goes. And I was like, what's going on over here? And he kind of showed me some things, showed me some projections. And I started to see like, wow, like this team can really come together, and it's just going to take a little bit more interest. I see, some top lists with Miami. I see some this, and I knew it was just going to take a little bit of interest, a little bit more commitments, and people are really going to take account on this. And I looked at the football recruiting classes. I looked on 24/7 in this process, and I looked at the state of Florida, how many recruits they have down there. Looked at IMG and compared that to St. John Bosco's and all that, Valley and Oregon, and just that area versus Florida's recruiting area with Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, schools like that. I mean, states like that around. It's just a no-brainer. The ceiling of the talent was on another level. So that was the first moment I really got excited about. Like, okay, if I commit here, I could really start like a huge recruiting train and really turn this team into a team that can compete talent-wise with anybody in the nation. Even the nearby schools, Alabama and Georgia, like this team is going to really be able to have that national championship level talent, national championship level roster. And I was like, okay, like it's coming together to other places, but here it has the chance to come together on a whole different level. That was the first time I was really excited about like, wow, I could be like the forefront of that. Once I saw Jaleel Skinner flip over from Alabama, that was huge too, because I just seen it. I seen that recruiting was starting to roll over, switch over into people being really interested in Miami. I know Shamar Stewart is really interested. He's uncommitted. There's just a lot of top athletes that are starting to look into that school. So I felt that, and I was excited to get that rolling and get that started and get that recruiting train moving, because I know once it really blows up here, this team is going to be different. It's going to be able to be a team that's going to be able to go down in U history. It's going to be able to bring back that team that everyone's talking about. It's going to be able to bring back national championships back to the school. So all in all, I was just really excited in that. And I trust in Coach Cristobal's vision in that. He's going to work as hard as possible to get it. He's going to bring in the staff and the people that's going to get it. And I just know that we're gonna hit everything as hard as we can, and it's got the chance to be really, really, really special. And I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, you went through the whole rundown there. I just kind of asked a question, you just gave it all, and the whole rundown. There's some things that stand out to me, Cyrus. You touched on the recruitment, and I could understand why you'd be a little hesitant, because again, you've had a bunch of schools recruiting you. A bunch of coaches probably say similar things. You start hearing similar things. Was there one thing in particular that Cristobal said to you? And I know you had conversations, but about Miami that stuck with you, that ultimately you felt like, okay, I'm going to give these guys a shot on this visit. And most people, don't split an official visit like that, like you did there at the end, and you're kind of trying to wrap it up. But was there something in those calls that really felt like, okay, this sounds a little bit different, I'll give them a shot? Because like you said, you didn't know much about Miami, and you were kind of, already essentially towards the end of your recruitment.
Yeah, well, Coach just kept texting me and pushing it, that it's about the people. It's about the people. It's about the people. And, on the way there, I believed in that. I was like, yeah, that was, main reason, for Oregon, aside from everything else and the other opportunities and great opportunities over there. It really was about the people. It was about who they had over there. When I went over on that visit, I went riding in a Jeep and just had moments with the coaches that was just different, and it was genuine. I really was laughing, enjoying, having a great time. Like on the other staffs, other visits, with the other staffs, I enjoyed it and had fun and laughing or whatever. But it was just in a different way. I felt like these coaches are grown men, but I felt like they could be friends. I was just like wow, like I can really talk to them, sit down with them, go ride jeeps with them, like just enjoy the staff. And so he just kept telling me it was about people, it was about people. And I was like, yeah, I know, but once I got down there, I felt that.
What was your favorite part of I know you touched on you're able to kind of relate with the coaches. There was one thing or something that really stood out to you about the campus, the visit, that you actually saw that you really enjoyed?
Campus wise, I like the indoor facility. I thought that was really nice. But other than that, I just like the opportunity that the campus had and the facility had. Because Coach Cristobal talked about a lot of things that they're implementing, changing, moving around. They're modifying, locker rooms, weight rooms, all that stuff. So, but he just showed me, it's like, this is an open area for this. This is a blank canvas, is a wide open canvas for just doing a bunch of great things. So I guess I just really liked the projection of the campus. They had the area, they had the space to implement a lot of great things. A lot of changes are coming. So I just like where they can go. I like the campus as well. I talked to some people about it. It's really close by. So I thought that was really nice. I thought the way you'd be able to just get from class to class is cool, especially because you can't have a car your first year there. But and then another thing too, just about the school, I really like the class sizes. I think it was 16 to 1, if I'm not mistaken, on the teacher to student ratio. So I thought that was really good. And, yeah, just the size of the school. That way you're able to really get that one-on-one type of education. I think that's important, at least for me.
Gotcha. Let's go back on Bishop Gorman. One of the things obviously that stands out to you is you started out as a safety in your career. So I want to kind of get your thoughts on the journey, but what stands out to me when you sometimes you see guys listed as safety and whatnot, but you were, I think as a freshman, 6'5", you were already pretty tall safety. It wasn't that you just played safety and kind of grew completely into this defensive end position. You already a kind of a tall for being a safe. Just when did that transition? It seems like it happened later, that junior senior year. Can you talk about safety, and then as you made that transition, and really who convinced you to do this? Why do that? Why make that move?
Yeah, well, growing up at youth football, or at least my middle school years, I was playing cornerback. And you're exactly right. I was already in middle school, 6'2.5", 6'3". So I was already playing tall. Then I got to Bishop Gorman my freshman year, and I was probably 6'3.5", 6'4", and I was playing safety that year. I ended up getting moved up to JV to play up there, and played all that season playing strong safety, a little bit of free safety as well. And then after that, our junior season, we were switching our defense from 4-3 to 3-4. And so they kind of needed another linebacker. They needed someone that could play like a defensive end role, yet still be able to play true linebacker, play off the ball. And it looked into the backfield and saw this, young kid that was 6'4", and now probably 6'5" at that time. And they were like, "You're gonna have to move down, play some linebacker." And I really just trusted in Coach Brown. He was telling me, he's like, "This is gonna be the spot where you're going to be able to become one of the best in the country. If you just listen, to the things I'm telling you to do, you work hard, you'll really be able to flourish at this spot. And I believed in that. I really did. And I got excited about it and just started working, just started listening to everything Coach said and trusting in him. And sure enough, we were able to just keep working and keep grinding. We were able to accomplish everything that we set out to do. So that was junior year. I was supposed to be playing linebacker as well. It was just freshman year that I played safety. But junior year, we didn't get to play due to COVID. And we were just kind of practicing here or there. So we didn't get to keep doing it junior year, but we kept that alive for senior year and kept that vision alive and capped it all off playing linebacker senior year. So.
Yeah, and I said defensive end, but yeah, watching your film, obviously standing up there, the defense you guys kind of played there. Your senior year, yeah, you get a full season. The stats according to Max Prep: 63 tackles, 16 for loss, 6 sacks. I was curious about the sacks number, Cyrus. Some people are curious about that, but it seemed, I mean, the tackles for loss are definitely there. And obviously, you touched on the position you played with your stats your year, and it seems like you're still, still adjusting to this position. Still getting used to it and whatnot. What do you say? Just how do you feel with the position you're at, and maybe where do you think Miami sees you kind of playing again with that unique skill set of your size and athleticism?
Yeah. Well, as far as for stats goes, it's kind of challenging because at Bishop Gorman, we do a tremendous job every single game, and we play every single game like we're playing #1 team in the nation. So a lot of times I actually come out during the second quarter. If I'm lucky, I'll get to finish out the half. So a lot of times, we barely get, how many plays on defense, only probably even how many drives really it comes down to. So, yeah, that I would feel like Coach, we had our banquet yesterday. He mentioned, he's like, if these guys played more snaps, the stats would just be ridiculous. We had a defensive end on our team who had 17 sacks and broke the record. And again, just he got to play more. He was a young guy, but still he didn't get to play fully. So the stats could have been crazy for our team this year, but we really shared time and we'll be up, by 40, 50 points, at half. So, but anyway, Miami, they want to see me in the edge position. It's a little more undefined for now until they're able to hire a defensive coordinator. But it's going to be edge position. I think I'll probably drop a little bit, probably less, definitely less than now actually. But I'll still be just coming off the edge, doing a bunch of different kind of some other things. Probably still playing a little bit of looks at linebacker and stuff like that.
Hey, what the schedule you touched on, and I knew that, and obviously in state you guys do real well. You get to play a crazy schedule. It's really impressive what Bishop Gorman, and for people that don't know, it's one of the top programs in the country. It's been that way for years. I'm curious about the Miami Central game. You play them earlier in the year, thrilling game, 21-20 there. What are your memories of that one? And also Wesley Basaint, what did you remember about him? And then obviously he's a part of the Miami class. Is he someone that you talked to or have talked to? When you talked about Miami building things, particularly I look at the class defensively, a lot of good defensive players. Yeah, just your thoughts on Wesley there and that game, Cyrus.
Yeah, well, that was the time I looked back to kind of really look at the culture that people were talking about, because I got to play against it, and that Florida team, they just played different. They got after it, and they had each other's backs on a different level. Like if you got a hit off on one of their players, like you better watch yourself for the next 3 plays, because there's going to be about 3 or 4 of them coming after you. About to get that payback. So they were a tough team to play against for sure. It was easily the toughest game of the season, and they were coming after. They were getting after it physically, and they didn't quit. They got after it.
Yeah.
But Wes saying I remember him just flying around. He's a super fast player. They had a lot of speed, a lot of athletic players, but he stood out. He was just flying around. He was really playing. He was definitely playing sideline to sideline. I remember he was a hitter for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, when a few things. Just when do you enroll at Miami? Are you an early enrollee? Are you coming later?
Yeah, I should be able to be down there by the end of January. We're still trying to get it all set up, but that's what we're looking at.
How big is that for you? And then obviously to do that, just get in the weight program, but also spring ball. I mean, that's a big thing for guys. Obviously, how important it? How much you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Just getting down as soon as I can, getting to work. I'm looking forward to gaining a lot of muscle. I want some additional size and strength, and getting more explosive and faster while I do it too. So just
Yeah.
looking forward to doing that, getting in that weight room and
Where
adding some more to my game. That way I can be ready to contribute first game.
where are you right now? Height and weight. Seeing it listed differently. Where are you currently? And then kind of your goals. And obviously coaches will give you advice on where they'd like to see once they get you. But is there something that you'd like to play at year one?
Right now I'm at 6'5", 215. I'm looking to. I'm gonna really leave it mostly up to the strength staff and what they want, but I bet they'll want it's probably something between 230 to 245, just depending on different stuff.
Are there players in the NFL that you look at as maybe not a comparison or a comp? Is there somebody maybe even just like to watch on defense that you maybe can see yourself either similar build or playing style that you like, or that someone that you either I don't know look up to, but just look at Cyrus. I know you were your own guy and things like that, but just are there the guys in the NFL you look at, or even I guess even college football too?
Yeah. Well, the biggest one would probably be Khalil Mack. I feel like he was like the person that really like pioneered the hybrid linebacker defensive end deal. It kind of did that to a high level. He's always been somebody I've watched, looked up to. And, yeah, and then I just really like to watch a bunch of other top NFL pass rushers and watch the things that they do. Cameron Jordan, Miles Garrett, uh, JJ Watt, TJ Watt, Davian Clowney, you name it. There's tons of guys, Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, all those, Aaron Donald, all those guys. I love to just watch them, watch the things they do, because they all usually have a different skill set, different unique talent. So I just kind of try to watch them and see what made them special, see what made them great.
I was curious about the other Bishop Gorman guys. Obviously, it didn't overlap with Miami, but guys that were in the pro, Brevin Jordan, Tate Martell, Bubba Bolden. Any of those guys reach out to you at all? Do you have a connection with any of those three?
Yep. Bubba Bolden and Brevin Jordan reached out, and they gave me a couple tips, couple things of advice, shared their thoughts.
Looking forward to it, Cyrus. Are you? I mean, I know it's been a whirlwind. Just to saying yes to Miami, to the visit, the whole thing. You're excited now? I mean, moving forward, that all this is behind you in terms of your signing and your announcement. But are you looking forward to kind of getting on campus, like you said, year one?
Yeah. I can't wait to get to work. I can't say that enough. I'm just like, it's with that as nerve-wracking as it could be to college, I just feel like it's pretty overshadowed just by how excited I am. It's to be able to just start this thing off. Like I said, I'm so excited about the projection of this team and where it can be. So I can't wait to see that kind of develop and flourish. So.
Well, good. I'm going to let you get to it. Your time is valuable. I appreciate you take the time, tell your story, kind of going through your journey. Again, a lot of Miami fans have, obviously tried to learn as much as possible over these last month or so when your name first popped up, but trying to get to know you a little bit more. So that's good. Best of luck to you. We'll see you when you get down here. Definitely appreciate your time, though. Sorry. Take care.